Welcome. This is Ray Collazo for Latino Sports Talk. Talking a little halftime of Sunday Night Football, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants. Wanted to see how people were thinking about not only this game, but the first week in the NFL season, week one. Lots of interesting results. Lopez in line in the building. What's up, George? What are you thinking about your St. Louis? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Your Los Angeles Rams, George. Juan Arango, thanks for joining us, Juan. What do you think about week one of the season? This is an odd first half with the Cowboys and Giants. I want to say the Cowboys outplayed them, but they really sort of sputtered in the second quarter. And maybe I'm a little biased. I'm an Eagle fan. First of all, the Giants are not a good team. Other than what they can do with Odell Beckham, they've got a lot to prove. Vala, thank you for joining us. Let us know what you think of NFL Week 1 so far, and specifically the Cowboys. Hasta la vista, boy. Penthesius, thank you so much. What do people think about what's going on with the Cowboys Giants Week 1, as well as everything going on with the Eagles? The Eagles too, but Week 1 in the NFL season kicked off here on this weekend. I walk away with the first half thinking about the Cowboys last year. They're going to be able to control the clock against most teams because of their offensive line. Their offensive line is not going anywhere. It's a damn good offensive line. And it's even making people like Joseph Randall and even McFadden to some degree look relatively legitimate. I don't see a lot of dynamicism or dynamic play. Other than Des Bryant, I don't see a lot of big Beasley a little bit. Danger, how you doing, brother? What are you thinking about week 1 here so far of the season? I don't see really a big play capability. I just don't see a lot of big play capability with the Cowboys, and I think that's what's kind of stunning them in the red zone because you don't have a big play back there. Romo's still very good, but he's getting older, and so is Witten. So I don't see the same. Leandro Martin, what do you think about week 1 of the NFL season? We're talking at Latino Sports Talk about week 1 here, halftime Sunday Night Football. And the Giants just aren't a very good team. I mean, I see a 6-9, 7-9 kind of season with that squad. They just have too many holes on their offensive line, and they're not getting a pass rush. But unbelievably, the Cowboys are not only not playing well, but down, which is pretty exciting. Anybody have questions? A lot went on today. I'm trying to think of the biggest takeaways of week 1 here so far. Well, I guess the big story is Mariota. Granted, it was up against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ace McCall, thank you for joining. Colin Ball, thank you for joining. Let us know what you think about week 1 of the NFL season so far. Ray Collazo here from Latino Sports Talk. I didn't see this Packer game, but I guess that's basically what should have happened, right? Packers took care of business against the Chicago Bears. I wonder how my Lopez brothers are doing out there in the Chi. Well, I know they enjoyed themselves. The other story was the Rams. The Rams, who traditionally play the Seahawks tough in St. Louis, although questions remain about their offense. Rams defense not the same without Byron Maxwell is now with the Eagles, and of course Cam Chancellor, who's still holding out there. Their incredible strong safety. So I think they're going to have some competition there in the division. Arizona played very well today. Arizona just has to, their quarterback play is very important. That's really the key. I think if you take quarterbacks out of the equation, they've got a playoff roster, particularly on the defensive end. And I love their coach. I think Bruce Arians is a fantastic coach. But, questions remain. Carson Palmer is getting up there in age, and also his durability is really the question. But Mariota looked fantastic. I know Tampa's not that good a team, but Mariota looked unbelievable today. I know Eagle fans it'll definitely raise some eyebrows. Hopefully Bradford will step it up tomorrow against the Atlanta Falcons. The Jets, we had Jorge Martinez, a Dominican baller, who leads our New York programming here at Latino Sports Talk. Not only tailgated, went to the game, but because he was a season ticket holder, got to be on the field for the beginning of the game. Really exciting. Some great pictures you can check out on social media with a Jorge, a DR USA Baller is his Twitter handle. Definitely check that out. But Jets took advantage of a skittish Johnny Manziel, a skittish Cleveland Browns, and Chris Ivory, an underrated running back, led the sort of ground and pound running game. And as Jorge was documenting on his coverage, tweeting, live tweeting while he was at the game today at is it MetLife? No, yeah, MetLife Stadium. They call the football stadium now. That Brandon Marshall was fighting for balls that Santonio Holmes or some of their other supposed number one receivers they've had over the last few years never did. So he's excited about what Brandon Marshall brings to the table, and Brandon Marshall brings a lot of interesting things to the table with his provocative commentary and persona, as well as he's been a damn good player. I don't think being a player has ever been anything to do with it. Whoever's on, any questions that you have, we can definitely talk football or anything else on your sports mind. That guy of 92, that's a great Twitter handle, that guy. That's really cool. Did you graduate? Did you born in 92 or graduate something in 92? I think I graduated high school in 92. Yusifov, how are you? I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. What's going on? What are you thinking about NFL Week 1 so far here? This is Ray Collazo from Latino Sports Talk. Halftime of the Cowboys and Giants. Again, I think if I'm a Cowboy fan, which I'm not, blessed not to be, but I would not be feeling really good about the beginning of this. The Giants are not a good team. And other than, again, what maybe Odell Beckham can do in any given big play, there's not a lot out there other than maybe some decent coaching with their coordinators there and with the Giants now. Spagnuolo, former Eagles staffer, former Rams head coach, now back as their defensive coordinator. And, there's not much there. And despite that, the Cowboys, again, which I just don't see a lot of dynamic offense the way I felt like I saw more last year with that offensive line and DeMarco Murray and all cylinders. I think they're going to have to kind of, he says what Dez can do, which is significant, probably the best player in the division. I think it's going to be a lot of slowly marching down the field, which I think, well, you can control the clock, but you got to score touchdowns, and they've not done that today at all. And, of course, the turnovers. Beasley, that was a bit of a fluky thing, for a fumble to be returned all that way down. But, yeah, enjoying Week 1, a lot of exciting games. I didn't get to see much of the highlights of the Kansas City game, but the fact that the Chiefs scored that many points is memorable. I don't believe a wide receiver caught a touchdown yet, so it's yet another game where the wide receivers didn't score a touchdown. But very impressed with the Rams. I'm excited for George Lopez and our Ram fans out there, Ram Nation. I think that's and good to see our boy Nick Foles doing his thing out there. He'll always, always be a original Eagle. But we'll see about the Seahawks. I wouldn't feel, as a Seahawks fan, I wouldn't be too concerned. It's always been a tough road game for them. Early start for a West Coast team. I would imagine you'll get Cam Chancellor fairly soon. But Kerry Williams doesn't go anywhere. He stays, and he sort of gaveth and took it away today with, I believe he had forced a fumble and ran it in for a touchdown against his old former teammate Nick Foles, and then, definitely was out of position a few times to set up some other scores for the Rams. So we'll see. I think the Rams are an interesting question, and then, I don't see the good news for Seattle is I don't see, even including my Eagles, any super teams that are going to run way ahead of them in terms of the top of the standings, unless, it's possible. Because I just think Green Bay without Jordy Nelson is not going to be the same. They're in a relatively tough division. I mean, the Lions lost today, but I think they're still a legitimate playoff contender. And we'll see about the Vikings. And if, the Bears gave them a tussle, gave them a decent game, I don't see the Bears doing much this year. I think they're kind of in the 5-11 range. Same for the NFC West. I think you got Rams and Cardinals, I think, are definite contenders for a playoff spot. I don't think San Francisco will do much. Again, probably another, 4-12, 5-11 kind of team. They're just a mess. I don't expect anything out of San Francisco this year. Hopefully Kaepernick can get it together. I hope Colin does his thing. So we'll see. Again, if I was a Seattle fan, I wouldn't be overly concerned. It's one tough divisional matchup. Tough beginning of the season. You got Green Bay next week. And that's going to be, I don't want to say a must-win for Seattle, but you don't want to start any season 0-2. And you just don't know when you're going to get Cam Chancellor back. And, he's, to me, for my money, one of the most important players in the NFL. In terms of the Cowboys, I think at the end of the day, I think their running situation is going to be decent, probably average. I think Joseph Randle's an average NFL running back, maybe a slightly below average starting NFL running back. And it seems like they're approaching this rotation logically about how to best use these guys. Again, I just don't see big plays. I don't see huge plays. I don't see, unless, which of course happens, unless it's Des Bryant, I just don't see them moving the ball quickly down the field. If you're not doing against the Giants who have no pass rush without Nine Fingers Pierre, I just don't, I don't know. It's been interesting. Romo still looks fairly sharp, but again, Wynn's not getting any younger, and it's, but they do have that line. So they're going to control some clock, I think, regardless. And the Giants, again, I just don't see much. I just don't see much out there. I don't know what happened with DRC. I know he was on the ground earlier in the game, but I don't think I saw an injury report. But we'll see what happens. Again, for those that are new to the Latino Sports Talk experience, where you can always check out our website. We're an independent sports talk radio network online, which right now focuses on a network of podcast shows, which you can download on our iTunes feed, Latino Sports Talk, or if you have a Galaxy phone or an Android, download us through Stitcher or TuneIn or any of those apps. Or you can always go to our website and listen to us there, LatinoSportsTalk.com. We've got a show just for the Cowboys, Los Cowboys, with our homie Angel H. Rivera and Ray Rivera, the Mad Mexican and Brother Ray. We've got a Raider Maniac podcast with Carlos Valentino, Raider Maniac. Lots of NFL talk from New York to L.A., everywhere in between. And again, this has been Ray Collazo, Latino Sports Talk, talking football, and always encourage people to listen to us, ask questions. We love to interact with people, and definitely keep checking us out at LatinoSportsTalk.com.